My artist name is Linda's Son, and I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. West Philly to be exact. I had many names. Back in 1984, yes, 1984, when I started MCing, my name was MC Darren D. I went from MC Darren D to D Swift. I went from D Swift to my nickname, which was Big D. You know, I'm 6'3", 6'4", and that name is a pause as we speak. But I was known as Big D my entire life, you know, because I was just always one of the tallest guys. And after my mother passed away, you know, I went through the grief and depression and was in a dark place. And when God started shining a light and I was coming out of that place, I was transitioning from MCing to beat making. And the beat tape was going to be called Linda's Son. And I was also changing my name. And I was just going to use my regular government name, Darren. And my wife suggested that I use the title of my beat tape as my new name. So hence, we have Linda's Son. Fortunately for me, I was around when the hip hop culture in Philadelphia pretty much took shape. So you're talking about a 11-year-old kid in class trying to show off with his classmates on who can memorize Sugar Hill Gang, who can memorize Curtis Blow and the Treacherous 3 and Cold Crush and Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel. And as the years went on, to be 13 years old, going to house parties at my best friend's house, and you had Disco Dave and the Awesome 4 MCs and Poison Clan Nation Band. And then on the other side of town, you had DJ Jazzy Jeff, and you had Spin Bad, you had Cash Money, and you had house party tapes that were circulating that people would keep overdubbing, and you would just continue to hear all these creative people. You had no choice but to get wrapped up in the culture. And I was always artistic, always creative. So now to be able to express myself in this way, it just was a done deal for me. If I had to name one person that inspired me to start MCing, I would say the late great Sean G, the vicious Sean G from West Philly. He was from my block. He was from my area. Someone that you could reach out and touch, so to speak, opposed to someone that you hearing on the radio. When you see someone that's from your area and they are that talented, it has to inspire you if that's the lane that you in. And the first time I met him, the one and only time I would be honest to say, I was entering in a talent show and I was in the lobby waiting to sign up. And I saw a couple of my homies from the neighborhood that came in, and Sean G came in with them. And it was like, he was like a legend. You always heard about him, but I never got a chance to see him because he was always, you know, I guess either shopping this demo or whatever. I never got a chance to really see him. So, you know, my homies introduced him to me and he was in there freestyling and he was incredible. And then after that, I heard his demo tape and was just like, this guy, he's the next dude. And the crazy part about it, Boogie Down Productions, Scott LaRock was murdered, and I believe Sean G was murdered maybe 2 weeks later in that same year, that same span. So it was definitely a blow to the neighborhood, but at the same time, it was like a bomb of inspiration just exploded, because I can't even tell you how many people from that area started being creative, whether it being DJs, MCs, So if I can name one, it would be Sean G. Rest in peace. Who inspires me today? Man, it's way too many people to just narrow down to one. And I'm in such a different lane than I was back then, thank God. But I've transitioned more so into beat making. So to narrow it down, I would have to say like DiBiase, Stolen Drums. Man, majority of people that I would name are not quote unquote Billboard type cats. You know what I mean? Benny Cousins, Tatsumaki, my son, Faithful Servant. There's so many incredible beat makers out there that I rock in my car, you know, when me and my wife are driving, that continually inspire me to get in the lab and to cook. So it's way too many to name, and I don't want to be disrespectful or have anybody feel slighted, but man, I'm inspired by you guys every day that I turn on the tube, man, every day. A specific message or goal, I would say to continue to be a positive impact. When you tune in for a 60-second short or a vlog or a regular video, it's my prayer that I can be a healthy distraction from the cares of the day, that I can be someone that can motivate you, encourage you, or inspire you. And ultimately, I'm a man of faith, and I truly believe that God has many tools in his tool belt and many different ways to spread his message of love. And I feel that my channel is another way to shine his light and spread love. How would I describe my music? I would say it's dope soul, slow-fi. Instead of lo-fi, slow-fi, because I like, you know, pretty much down tempo. You know, I'm not really into anything over like 87, 88 BPMs. You know, I really like a nice chill vibe. So I would say, you know, dope soul, slow-fi, feel good. Man, my first rhyme, I said it for like 6 months, and that was the only rhyme I had, so you know I know a little bit of it. You can ask anybody in the place to be. When I get on the mic, I will make you see that I'm the devastating, awesome MCD. Rocking on the mic so viciously. 6'3" in the place to be. Breaking up you punks and you sucker MCs. I'm not a biter, I'm a fighter and a tough MC, cause I'm a leader and defeater of my anarchy. My weapon of choice right now is the Akai Professional MPC sample. I love everything about the sample. I love what the sample can do. I love what the sample can't do. What I mean by that is I love the limitations. It causes me to create, to literally create. I find that I get myself stuck and distracted when I have too many bells and whistles. When I'm on a DAW, and when I was like on the MPC Live 3, like if I have too much on my plate, I find myself to get distracted. And I've been drawn more so to portable gear because it brings that side out of me that I love. You know, okay, if I link this up with that, if I resample this and do that, then I can get this sound. And maybe if I connect it to this machine, I love doing that. I love linking machines up. I love the Voltron effect of different sampling. So yeah, the MPC sample right now is my weapon of choice. What artist would I like to work with, dead or alive? All right, live we'll say. I would love to work with Navy Blue. I love his content. I love his style. Also, Homeboy Sandman. I'm really digging those two guys right now. Like, I love what they're about. I really dig what they're about, and they dope. If I can say in the past, of course you'll say Biggie, MF Doom. The role that music plays in my life right now is the same role it's always played for me. It's always been my comfort blanket. It's been my therapy, and it's like my oxygen. So even when I didn't have beat machines around, you know, I might have a YouTube instrumental driving to work at 2:30 in the morning rhyming. So it's always been a part of me, and it always will be. This might be the toughest question, but if music wasn't part of my life, I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's a tough one right there, but I know God would still have me being creative. God would still have me inspiring people. And above all things, it's always God and family. So, you know, my wife is my ride or die, my best friend. So if music wasn't a part of my life, I would still be who I am. It's just hard to imagine that because it's always been part of my life in some form or fashion. That's not a tough question at all. I mean, there's nothing touching the golden era of the early 90s. Nothing. There was a Crayola box of talent, MCs, beat makers, like, you know, say what you want. You know, you got a lot of people that might tease the way we danced or tease the way we dressed, but the music, it was like a kaleidoscope. Today is more, you know, clones. So I would definitely say old school. Okay, my favorite rhyme, way too many, but if I could think of one, I would say Eric Beats for President. On Sundays in Philly, we would have Street Beat with Lady B, and I would run in the house straight from church, put the tape recorder on. My mom got me the double tape cassette joint, so I would press record, and then throughout the week I would edit out the commercials. I know a lot of y'all did the same thing. If you from my era, edit out the commercials, and I would get dressed to school in the morning listening to the tape. And when I first heard I Came in the Door, I said it before, I never let the mic magnetize me no more. That was it for me. It opened up a whole new, like, portal as far as MCing is concerned. Like, MCs wasn't flowing like that before that song came out. And yeah, that joint just did it for me. Trademarks, I had to say it's a tie between Wu-Tang and Public Enemy, because the B-boy stance and the target that's on them, that was just crazy. And to know that was E-Love, rest in peace, that was dope as well. And the Wu-Tang symbol was crazy. And for a tag, I would have to say Don Cannon's tag is crazy dope. And it's not even saying Cannon, it's saying Gannon from the Madden game. So that's crazy. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Spotify, Facebook, as well as Bandcamp, where I have a few beat tapes and more beat tapes to come.
I call her Linda.
Is there a song in the world that I wish I could do? I would have to say the joint with During the Saya ES 118 with Rhapsody. That John is bananas. So yeah, I would love to have been able to do something with that. All right, my question for the next guest of Say What is, if you were forced to use one piece of gear, what piece of gear would that be? This is Linda's son. Thanks for having me on Say What. Peace and God bless.